What's going on, YouTube? So you probably don't need me to tell you that gas prices have been going up recently. And when gas prices go up, so does demand for frugal and affordable models like the Toyota Corolla and Mazda 3.
The Corolla has been an icon of affordable transportation for decades, but the latest Mazda 3 is mounting a serious level of competition with a lot of value. So which of these sub $30,000 sedans is right for you? That's what we're going to dive in and find out today.
To highlight the affordable nature of these two models, we are looking at two of the most popular and value-oriented trim levels today, SE and Sport Select, both just over $25,000. If you're looking to buy either of them, make sure to check out carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price and access to invoice pricing information. Starting with the exterior designs, both the Corolla and especially the Mazda 3 prove that affordable models don't have to be bland. Each of them adopts sporty elements, including large mesh grills and aggressive lower fascias. The Mazda has more chrome accents, while the Toyota blacks more elements out. Looks are subjective, so we don't score the designs, but be sure to let us know which one you prefer in the comments. What we do score are the various features and differences, starting with the headlights. Each is sporting a very premium unit for this affordable space, as they are both fully LED for every element. Additionally, they also offer some premium finishes with lower accent lights on the Toyota and a fading turn signal on the Mazda. To the sides, they also share sporty wheels with a darkened finish, both coming in at 18 inches. As far as the length is concerned, the 3 is exactly 1 inch longer than the Corolla. For the most practicality, you can also buy hatchback versions of both models, but we will be sure to discuss interior packaging for these sedan models later on. Out back, the simple yet sporty design themes continue, including items such as exposed exhaust outlets. For the taillights though, it's only the Mazda 3 that comes with full LED lighting, whereas the Corolla only has one LED element in the unit. By the way, feel free to keep your own score along the way if you want, based on your personal priorities. Heading to the mirrors, each of them has heating and blind spot monitoring. They also match each other for safety, with all major systems as standard equipment for these value-packed models. That's it for the exteriors, so let's check out the interiors. But first,
If you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we have reviewed over 2,000 vehicles at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from humble to high-end, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. Starting with the keys, both feature smart entry systems. And then opening up the doors, these compact and affordable spaces are still surprisingly well equipped. Let's start this interior comparison with these seats, where the Mazda packs in a lot of value with full leatherette seats as compared to a sporty fabric on the Toyota. Nonetheless, they will both be manual adjusting, and they do not have heating at this price point. Once inside, we can discuss the broad category of material quality, which will divide into solidity and material selections. Both models are built really well, exceeding expectations for fit and finish in an economy car. And, in terms of materials, the Corolla is pretty solid overall, with plenty of soft materials. But it's the Mazda that will really impress you, with more padded leatherette throughout, and even pads on the center console as well. After startup, the Toyota begins to flex some of its technology advantages. It now has a full digital 12.3-inch gauge cluster, whereas the Mazda only has 7 inches of digital screen. Pulling back to the steering wheels, they are leatherette wrapped, manual adjusting wheels with no heating on these trims. Only the Mazda has the nice bonus feature of rain sensing wipers though. Next up is storage, where we'll evaluate both the center console and multi-use cubbies in the dash. Neither are segment leaders here, But when we head to the consoles, the Mazda takes the lead, with 9 of our signature donuts compared to 5 in the Corolla. Beyond consoles, they both have a few extra cubbies and some cup holders as well. One goodie the Corolla has over the 3 is a wireless phone charging pad in one of those cubbies. Putting the physical shifters into reverse, both feature backup cameras, neither of which is very high quality. However, it's the Corolla whose camera actually takes up the entire screen to see more around you. Moving to the climate controls, only the Mazda has a 2-zone automatic system, but both models have full physical climate controls, which isn't a given nowadays. However, the Corolla recently got rid of its volume knob for volume buttons. That difference aside, let's take a sample and see if one stands above the other. Overall, the Mazda will have the fuller audio quality and crisper details with its 2 extra speakers. Now let's take a look at the main screens, where there are certainly some differences. For sizing, the Corolla has an advantage at 10.5 inches over 8.8 inches in the Mazda 3. Functionality-wise, the Toyota continues with its advantages. Its touchscreen software is much smoother and easier to use over the Mazda software that requires using the rotary controller on the console itself for most functions. Additionally, the Corolla supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Wrapping up the front of the cabins, they both have manual dimming mirrors and no sunroofs. Now let's check out the back seats to see if there is truly a difference when it comes to the packaging of these compact options. These two measure within the 5% threshold required to score a point for both leg and headroom. And they both have similar knee room with our official Car Confections ruler measurement as well. Neither are segment leaders though, trailing behind options like the Honda Civic and Kia K4. As far as the features go, they both have fold-down armrest with cup holders, but only the Toyota has USBs in the back of the console. However, the Mazda 3 has a luxury advantage with identical door trim to the front, as compared to the cheaper hardtouch plastic construction for the Toyota. Opening the trunks, we can discuss the cargo differences, where they are once again too close to score a point, with only a 1/10 of a cubic foot between them. Both models come in just over 13 cubic feet of space. These two are much more practical than you would imagine, especially if you utilize the 60-40 split folding seats. Under the floor, there are spare tires as well. That wraps up the interiors, so now let's take this fight to the streets. While economy cars aren't known for their speed and performance, what's under the hood is still quite important. For the models we're testing today, we have 2 similar engines, naturally aspirated 4-cylinders. The Mazda's engine is a little larger, at 2.5 liters versus 2 in the Corolla, which means it has the advantage in power, torque, and 0 to 60 acceleration. With 191 horsepower, the Mazda certainly has more standard zoom than basically anything in this segment. Alright, 16 miles an hour with the Mazda 3. So like we mentioned at the spec dump, I can't remember which year it was, but they took out the base engine offering for this model and moved everything to the standard 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with 191 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque. Now those are really strong numbers for the segment. Typically things in this class kind of land around 150 in terms of what you get on a standard trim level. So having that additional power is definitely very noteworthy. That takes us up to 60 miles per hour with the Corolla. So like we mentioned at the beginning with the spec dump, you've got 2 different powertrain options for the Corolla. We've got the standard, the full gas option. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, of course, naturally aspirated. You have 169 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. Now, in terms of how that power, translates to acceleration, it's fine for a vehicle of this category. It is going to be on the slower side for the segment overall. And transmission-wise, there are some more differences to discuss. The Toyota uses a continuously variable transmission, while the Mazda uses a traditional 6-speed automatic. While there's nothing actually wrong with this CVT, we know that from thousands of Ural's comments, people generally prefer regular transmissions that avoid drone. Now accelerating to this red light, like Mason was kind of leading us into, let's talk about the transmission. 6-speed automatic transmission. This class, very rare to see a traditional automatic anymore. Pretty much everything has gone continuously variable transmission. That is the case with the Civic. So if you like that more traditional feel, this Mazda 3 is going to be a good choice. Now, as far as the transmission is concerned, we've got a continuously variable transmission. As you could hear through that acceleration, it does have a shift simulation on board. That's just designed to give you a little bit more of a conventional feel and avoid a little bit of that droning sound that CVTs often cause in vehicles. Now, let's discuss both ride quality and handling. First off, the Mazda 3 must be complimented for its fun-to-drive nature on a back road. Its steering is far better than the Toyota's, and it is definitely fit for an enthusiast. Unfortunately, that also means there's a trade-off in ride quality, where the Corolla is the winner here. It soaks up more of the road imperfections and is more comfortable on those longer road trips.
When it comes to the ride specifically, I will say it's not the smoothest ride. It's not going to be the most comfortable option in the segment. You can get things like a Corolla XLE that have better ride than this.
But of course, when you come to a corner, this is a big area that is distinguishing Mazda from rival brands, and that's just the sporty driving dynamic. Whether you choose something, one of their big expensive offerings or a small sedan like this, you're going to get that great handling.
Now, we've turned out on our designated strip of road to talk about ride quality, and in this department, the Corolla does pretty well. Even though we have the larger wheels on the outside, when you hit a bump in the road, it does a decent job of soaking things up. Now, as expected, this vehicle segment does let in a little bit of intrusion. It's not a luxury sedan or anything like that, but overall, I think you'll be very happy with the ride quality, and compared to rivals, it's very similar to those.
Sound isolation is also important, which is why we take sound level readings for every vehicle we test here at Car Confections. Scientifically speaking, most adults cannot discern a difference of less than 1 decibel between sounds, and the Corolla pulls off that difference here. It's almost 2 decibels quieter than the Mazda, which will be noticeable.
.3 decibels in this Mazda 3. Not bad at all. 56.5 decibels is what we settled in at.
Finally, let's talk about the important aspect of fuel economy. In typical Toyota fashion, the Corolla is more efficient in every single rating as compared to the Mazda. While both of these models will help you save money on gas, it's the Toyota that will do so more. Additionally, the Corolla can be had in an even more efficient hybrid, which takes the fuel economy to nearly 50 mpg. Reliability and resale value are also important things to consider when comparing models, so let's get into that. Beginning with reliability, our combined reliability index indicates that there are some differences between these two brands. Toyota is rated as one of the best mainstream brands, of course, above average. Meanwhile, Mazda is below the overall industry average. Related to reliability is your warranty coverage, where both include the same terms for basic and powertrain warranties, but only Toyota provides complimentary maintenance visits. Now, as far as resale value, the Toyota once again pulls ahead, but by less this time around. Based on our Car Confections calculations, the Toyota will hold up a bit more of its value after 5 years and 60,000 miles. Now let's get into pricing and see how much money you will truly be saving. As we mentioned at the beginning, both of these models are coming in under $30,000, which is far below the average new car price nowadays. However, the Mazda does come in as the cheapest in today's comparison, as it has few options to fully load up this trim level. All told, you'll definitely be saving money over a crossover in their respective lineups. Since shoppers in this space are looking to get a great deal, the $1,050 price advantage will award the Mazda 3 plus 1 point for the extra affordability. We want to emphasize that if reliability, resale value, or money matter less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. So there you have it, the objective winner. Do you agree? Let's go over some reasons why you might pick each one for yourself personally, and then we'll tell you which one Mason and I would put in our respective driveways. I'll start with the Mazda 3. 3 reasons you might select that is that it has nicer seating and cabin materials overall. It has a more powerful standard engine, and it is more fun to drive.
Now, the Corolla on the flip side has better fuel economy because it is available with a hybrid system as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Additionally, it has better technology that's easier to use and also has superior ride quality for ultimate comfort. Now, speaking of the areas where one is excelling over the other, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com and check out vehicle rankings. The reason you should do that is because we've looked at all the affordable sedans on the market and ranked them in individual categories depending on what matters most to you. That's going to allow you to sort the list based on those categories such as interior luxury, technology, value, powertrain choices, and more, and make an informed buying decision. So we definitely recommend you check that out, carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. But which would we put in our driveways?
Mazda 3 for me. I think Mason's going to agree with that.
I do absolutely agree with that. For me, what matters the most is the luxury feel of that vehicle. Also, I really love the driving dynamics, although I really wish that they would add maybe a hybridized version of the Mazda 3 to increase the efficiency. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this comparison. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, we'd really appreciate you subscribing down below and becoming a part of our Car Confections family. Also, if you're looking to buy either of these vehicles or any vehicle, check out carconfections.com/newcarquotes as well. The reason you should do that is because we have a tool on our website that'll connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use if you plan on dealership negotiation. There's even things like a monthly payment calculator, so you can find all of that on our website, carconfections.com. And guys, that's all for our comparison. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.